Good morning. Welcome to Morning Special. I'm your host, Sue. 여러분 안녕하세요. 6월 30일 화요일 최수진의 Morning Special입니다. Well, it's the last day of the month. From 8 to 10 a.m. every single day of the year. Upgrade your English with Morning Special through global headlines, book reviews, music, and much more. 매일 아침 8시부터 10시 2시간 동안 스페셜한 아침을 여는 Morning Special입니다. And for today's news stories, I have the one and only Steve joining me. Good morning, Steve.
For the first 1 minute of the show,
Yeah?
I feel like a listener. Because when you said, good morning, it's the last day of the month, I said to myself, oh, really? I didn't realize that. Good morning to you. Good morning to our listeners. Rainy Tuesday morning.
What do you like to have on a rainy day?
Oh, I like to have a walk on the beach.
Oh, that sounds
I
nice.
love being at the beach in the rain. Have you ever swum in the ocean? Swum in the ocean when it's been raining?
I have.
It's an amazing feeling, isn't it?
No.
Really?
Because I just don't like being in the rain.
You're in water anyway.
That's true, actually. Well, if it's, a slight drizzle, I think that would be nice.
Yeah.
Because I have been like in an outdoor, like a pool.
Swimming pool?
Yeah, not a swimming pool, a hot spa.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In the rain.
Yeah.
That was very nice. But I wouldn't like to be in the ocean when it's like pouring down because that would be scary.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I like to do. And then what I like to eat, some hot ramen.
Oh, wow.
Hot ramen when it's raining outside. And then, of course, you have your typical answers like pajeon and things like
that's
that
my
too,
favorite.
right?
해물파전 is my favorite.
Yeah.
여러분은 비 오는 날 어떤 음식이 생각나시나요? 뭘 하는 걸 좋아하시나요? Let us know. Good morning, 이동일님. It's the last day of the month. 네, 파전 드셔야죠 하셨는데요. 그러게요. 빈대떡과 김치 파전 하셨습니다.
When I used to live in Gwanghwamun,
Wow, you've lived in many places, haven't you?
I have lived in so many places.
I didn't know you lived in Gwanghwamun.
I did. Back in 2012, I lived behind the Sejong Art Center.
Did you?
And behind the Sejong Art Center, there's a really famous bindae-deok place.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, do you know where I'm talking about?
I've heard about it.
Oh,
yeah,
I went there on more than one occasion.
Yeah?
Yeah, really, really good. And of course, really good during this weather. I had my first PT session last night.
Did you?
PT is Konglish, personal trainer, I guess I should say.
Right.
I am dying today.
지금 근육 많이
dying.
당기시겠어요. 이제 처음으로 이게 운동을 좀 하셨군요.
The problem is, he's like 25 or something, and
Full of energy.
all the energy in the world, and I'm not 25, and I don't have all the energy in the world. But I think he thinks I do.
Was he yelling at you?
No.
Go, Steve, go, go, go.
A little,
Yeah.
pushing me a little. But no, it was really great. It was a good start. And yesterday was the first day, so of course the first day is always the hardest day,
Yeah,
right?
it really is.
Yeah, I'm looking
But
forward to
you've
the rest.
started.
Yeah,
Good for you.
well, like I
Well
said,
done.
you inspired me with your Zumba classes. I have to keep up with you, right?
Oh, well, it's I'm glad that my terrible dancing inspired you to do something. 네, 여러 가지 시작을 했던 6월이었는데요. 벌써 6월의 마지막 날입니다. Do let us know what you're up to. 짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045 그리고 무료 반디 게시판 이용하실 수 있습니다.
Tomorrow's Canada Day, by the way.
Is it? 7월 1일이 캐나다 데이예요?
Yep.
Tell us about it tomorrow.
Okay.
어떤 날인지 내일 기대해 보겠습니다.
I have to do some research. I don't know too much about it.
Okay. Well, with that said, let's start with today's global headlines. 세계 각국 언론사들의 어떤 헤드라인이 올라왔는지 살펴보는 시간입니다. Touch Global Headlines.
The U.S. has reported a rise in COVID-19 cases with at least 36 states confirming new infections.
미국에서 코로나19가 다시 번지면서 36개 주에서 신규 환자가 증가세인 것으로 나타났습니다.
The number of fires in Siberia increased fivefold last week as temperatures in the Arctic registered higher readings than normal.
최근 러시아 시베리아에서 이상 고온 현상이 지속하면서 지난주 산불이 5배 늘어났습니다.
China is expected to pass a controversial national security law that once imposed on Hong Kong could have individuals convicted of crimes under such law face life imprisonment.
중국 전국인민대표대회가 오늘 홍콩 보안법을 통과시킬 것으로 전망되는 가운데 이 법의 최고 형량이 종신형에 달할 것이라는 현지 보도가 나왔습니다.
French President Emmanuel Macron's ruling party has suffered a major defeat in recent municipal elections, while current Paris Mayor Anne Hidalgo announced victory in her re-election bid.
마크롱 프랑스 대통령에 대한 중간 평가격인 지방선거에서 집권당이 참패한 가운데 이달고 파리시장은 재선에 성공했습니다. And to listen to the headlines again, please visit our website. 모닝 스페셜 홈페이지에 들어오시면은요, 지금 읽어드린 헤드라인 다시 무료로 복습하실 수 있습니다. 많은 이용 바라고요. Let's go over the headlines.
Headline number one today. The United States has reported a rise in COVID-19 cases with at least 36 states confirming new infections.
네, 첫 번째 헤드라인인데요. 미국에서 코로나19가 다시 번지면서 36개 주에서 신규 환자가 증가세인 것으로 나타났습니다.
Among the 36 states reporting a rise in cases, Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, California, Florida, Hawaii, Texas, and Washington. Obviously, that list is much longer. Only 2 U.S. states are reporting a decline in new coronavirus cases compared to last week. Those 2 states are Connecticut and Rhode Island. New York on Sunday boasted its fewest deaths, 5 since March 15th, and also hospitalizations were below 900. About 1% of the tests conducted in the state Saturday were positive. That resulted in 616 new cases in 43 different counties. That is according to a news release from Governor Andrew Cuomo's office.
Altogether, there are 50 states in the U.S. of A.
Correct, yes.
네, 미국에 총 50개 주가 있죠. 그런데 그 중에서 36개 주에서 다시 코로나19가 확산하고 있다는 소식입니다. Of course, recently we learned that a lot of the businesses were reopening. People were going out to the beaches because it is, of course, summertime. However, it is very concerning looking at these reports and the numbers because only 2 states have seen figures go down and 36 go up.
And the focus now seems to be on Florida, and it was reported amid experts that Florida could be the next epicenter for infections. Officials there and across America are also warning of an increase in cases among younger people. Florida, in terms of numbers, now rivals New York in terms of cases. New York's new case tally was about 6% of Florida's total, just for one particular day. On Sunday, Florida's health department reported another 8,530 new cases.
그렇군요. 플로리다가 새로운 어떤 에피센터로 자리를 하고 있습니다. 예전에 우리가 이제 미국 코로나19 확진자와 사망자 얘기를 하면서 뉴욕주 얘기를 많이 했었는데요. 지금은 이제 플로리다에서 신규 확진자가 지난 일주일간 한 10,000명에 육박했다고 하고 뉴욕이 이제 확진자가 가장 많았을 때의 수준과 맞먹는다고 합니다.
The message from the governor's office in Florida, the Florida governor, his name is Ron DeSantis, he said that the state's surge in cases in the past week was the result of what he called a test dump. That is very similar to the message from the White House that an increase in testing is resulting in the higher numbers. But experts are saying, no, that's not the case. And one of those experts, former director of the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, his name is Tom Frieden, and he said that the increase was actual, not an anomaly related to testing numbers, and warned that more spread and more deaths were in the country's future.
네, 플로리다에서 이렇게 신규 확진자가 많이 늘어난 것에 대해서 플로리다주 측에서는 검사를 많이 했기 때문에 확진자가 많은 것처럼 보일 뿐이다라고 얘기를 했지만 많은 전문가들은 그렇지 않다고 반박을 하고 있다고 하네요.
Speaking of the ages in Florida, the people now, the groups of people who are becoming infected seem to be getting younger. Governor DeSantis, he said the median age for those infected in March was in their 60s. But in the past 2 to 3 weeks, it's dropped to people in their 30s. And the governor, he did urge younger groups to be careful, be vigilant, saying that while they may not be at risk for serious complications, they can pass the virus on to someone who is. And now the state's community transmission, he said, is being driven by that 18 to 35-year-old group.
아, 그렇군요. 지난 3월 달까지만 해도 미국에서 신규 확진자의 평균 연령대가 60대가 가장 많았다라고 하는데요. 지금은 이제 최근 한 2, 3주 내에 보게 되면은 30대 신규 확진자가 상당히 많다고 해서 우려스럽다고 합니다. 물론 치명적인 것으로 보면은 여전히 연령대가 더 있으신 분들이 치명적일 수 있지만 30대든 20대든 걸리게 될 경우에는 코로나19를 또 다른 사람에게 전파할 수 있어서 더욱 위험하다라고 전문가들은 얘기하고 있습니다. Let's move on to our second headline.
Headline number 2 this morning, the number of fires in Siberia increased fivefold last week as temperatures in the Arctic registered higher readings than normal.
네, 두 번째 헤드라인인데요. 최근 러시아 시베리아에서 이상 고온 현상이 지속하면서 지난주 산불이 5배 늘어났습니다. Now this is a very unlikely sentence to have the word fire and Siberia in the same sentence.
Well, we did the story, didn't we, where we talked about this. I think it was in maybe one of our news focus stories in the town of Verkhoyansk, where they reported that temperature of 38 degrees Celsius. That was on the 20th of June, and this news comes after that. A quote from the European Union's Earth Observation Program. That program is monitoring the situation. They said, while fires are common at this time of year, record temperatures and strong winds are making the situation particularly worrying.
그렇습니다. 물론 이맘때쯤에 산불이 일어날 수는 있다고 하는데요. 최근 들어서 특히 시베리아 쪽, 러시아의 극동 쪽에서는 이상 고온 현상이 일어나면서 산불이 유달리 많이 발생하고 있습니다. 실제로 얼마 전에 38도가 기록이 됐었다는 소식을 들었었죠. 우리도 38도까지 오르지는 않았었는데 here in Seoul we saw temperatures rise to only, well, not only, but less than 38 degrees. So it was hotter over there than it is right now here.
Yes, absolutely. Hotter than in many parts of the world. And now the Sakha Republic's fire service has reported 127 natural fires in the Russian federal sector. Carl Parker is a Weather Channel meteorologist. He said, speaking to Newsweek, what climate change is doing is moving the distribution of weather events such that historically low-frequency extreme events occur more frequently. Had the climate not changed due to man-made greenhouse gases, the heat we've seen in parts of Siberia would have been a 100,000-year event.
아, 그렇군요. 예전 같은 경우에는 이렇게 시베리아에서 산불이 발생을 하고 이런 정도의 규모가 있는 것은 극도로 드물게 볼 수 있는 일이었지만 전문가에 따르면은 요즘엔 점점 더 그 빈도수가 늘어나고 있는 것이 굉장히 우려스럽다 이렇게 얘기를 하고 있습니다.
Another quote from another expert, University of Michigan Environmental School Dean Jonathan Overpeck said to the AP in an email that the Arctic is figuratively and literally on fire. It's warming much faster than we thought it would in response to rising levels of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere.
And to put this into perspective, the amount of land that's been burnt from these forest fires in Russia amounts to about 1/10 of South Korea.
It's shocking, isn't it?
네, 그렇습니다. 지금 이제 남한 면적의 10분의 1에 해당되는 면적이 러시아에서 불에 타고 있다고 합니다. Let's go over our next headline.
Headline number 3, China is expected to pass a controversial national security law that once imposed on Hong Kong could have individuals convicted of crimes under such law face life imprisonment.
네, 세 번째 헤드라인인데요. 중국 전국인민대표대회가 오늘 홍콩 보안법을 통과시킬 것으로 전망되는 가운데 이 법의 최고 형량이 종신형에 달할 것이라는 현지 보도가 나왔습니다.
Two sources told the South China Morning Post the contentious legislation being tailor-made for Hong Kong to prevent, stop, and punish acts of succession, subversion, terrorism, and collusion with foreign forces to endanger national security would carry a maximum penalty of life imprisonment, contrary to earlier indications of a 10-year limit on jail terms.
Right, and that would come into force tomorrow.
Yes, it's that's right. Being the
If it
first
passes.
the first day of July, that's correct. And it is. You said if it passes, but it is really expected to pass. On whether the life sentence would apply to all four crimes or be targeted, a source who was at Sunday's meeting said that it will definitely cover more than just secession and subversion. The law is not going to be merely a toothless tiger,
Right.
an expression that means a law that will accomplish nothing.
맞아요. 전국 인민대표대회 전인대의 홍콩 대표가 한 말인데요. 이 홍콩 보안법이 이빨 없는 호랑이가 되지 않기 위해서 위반자는 최고 종신형에 처할 것이다. 이런 얘기를 한 것이 이제 외신에서 보도가 된 것이고요. 오늘까지 홍콩 보안법에 대한 회의가 이어지고 오늘 통과가 될 것으로 이렇게 전망이 됩니다. 통과가 되면은 그 직후인 내일부터 홍콩 보안법이 이제 시행이 되는데요. 7월 1일은 홍콩 주권 반환 23주년인 날이기도 합니다.
I think they're trying to get this law passed as quickly as they can.
Yeah.
One of the sources speaking about this was one of a handful of delegates from Hong Kong who had sight of the draft of the law, so actually saw it.
Right.
And a major point of contention with many in the city was decrying the lack of transparency on a piece of legislation with far-reaching consequences. He said that explanations were given on the choice of words that were not identical with Hong Kong's common law system.
그렇습니다. 홍콩 보안법이란 외국 세력과 결탁, 또 국가 분열, 국가 정권 전복, 테러리즘 행위하는 것을 금지하고 처벌한다는 내용이 들어있는데요. 홍콩 내에서는 이것을 집행할 수 있는 기관을 중국 본토가 설치할 수 있다는 내용을 담고 있습니다.
There was one of the local NPC, delegates by the name of Ip Kwak Him, who added that who said that national security laws in other countries, including the United States, also carry life sentences. So defending this, essentially,
Right.
saying, I can't see why such a serious offense in Hong Kong would not be the same. He said that, adding too that details were unlikely to be disclosed before the passage of the law, but basically saying, if it happens in other countries, why can't it not happen in Hong Kong as well?
아, 그렇군요. 전인대 측의 입장을 또 지금 설명해 주셨는데요. 국가보안법으로 이렇게 보게 되면은 다른 나라에서도 뭐 국가보안에 위반이 될 만한, 위협이 될 만한 상황에 처했을 때, 그 해당자를 종신형에 처하는 경우가 뭐 있다, 다른 나라에도. 근데 홍콩에서는 왜 하면 안 되냐라는 얘기가 나오고 있다고도 합니다. Let's check our final headline.
French President Emmanuel Macron's ruling party has suffered a major defeat in recent municipal elections, while current Paris Mayor Anne Hidalgo announced victory in her re-election bid.
네, 마지막 헤드라인인데요. 마크롱 프랑스 대통령에 대한 중간평가격인 지방선거에서 집권당이 참패한 가운데 이달고 파리시장은 재선에 성공했습니다.
Good news for Paris Mayor Anne Hidalgo as she secured a second term in office on Sunday, roundly defeating her conservative rival Rachida Dati in France's municipal elections, which had been postponed amid the coronavirus crisis. Hidalgo was elected mayor of Paris back in 2014 and is also the first woman to hold the office.
맞아요. 최초의 여성 파리시장이기도 하죠. 안 이달고 현 시장이 이렇게 재선에 성공했다는 소식인데요.
Yeah, this is big news for her because this means that her victory will allow her to oversee the 2024 Summer Olympics. I didn't realize that the 2024 Summer Olympics were going to be in France. Hidalgo is backed by the Europe Ecology the Greens Party, or EELV, and that party saw a dramatic surge in several large cities. According to exit polls, the Greens and and their leftist allies are expected to win Lyon and also Marseille and are leading in the race for Bordeaux City Hall as well.
Right. While it was good news for the Paris mayor, it was disappointing news for the president and his ruling party.
Yeah, they failed to make any inroads, or at least significant inroads, at the local polls, and this election was seen as kind of a midterm test for President Macron. Of course, he will be the president for a couple of more years before he faces re-election, but even he acknowledged that this green wave, as he called it, had swept the elections.
네, 그렇습니다. 이번 중간평가에 대해서 대통령실은요, 이번에 어쩌면은 내부 분열이 이런 실망스러운 결과를 가져온 것이 아닌가 싶다라고 하면서 실망한 기색을 보였습니다.
Just very quickly, an interesting side note to this story, a record low voter turnout. For these elections. Yes, only 40% of voters cast their ballots. And one politician or one expert said, this seems like the people saying to the government of France, we're not taking part in this.
아, 그렇군요. 이번에 투표율도 많이 낮았다고 하는데요. 이 자체도 시사하는 바가 있다. 이렇게 보고 있습니다. Those were our headlines this morning. Let's take a song break. 노래 듣고 와서 여러분의 사연과 또 뉴스 포커스 살펴보겠습니다. Here's Gregors with Treat.
Stroll down Silver Lane, soft top down, wind in your hair, feet up high in the sky, in the neon lights. You're so fly. In for a treat now, golden leaf round, one of a kind, yeah, you are. You're the treat of our time. You took me slowly, almost surprised. State of the art, second to none. You're the treat of our time. You took me slowly, almost surprised. State of the art, second to none. That smile of 1,000 stars lights the way by the ocean road when driving through the night till the sunrise. Yeah. In for a treat now, golden leaf, wow, one of a kind, yeah, you are. You're the treat of our time. You took me slowly, almost surprised. State of the art, second to none. You're the treat of our time. You took me slowly, almost surprised. State of the art, second to none. Second to none, girl. Beyond compare. Nobody else out there. Nobody else out there. Took me slowly, almost surprised. State of the art, second to none. Treat of our time. Took me slowly, almost surprised. State of the art, second to none. Treat of our time. Took me slowly, almost surprised. State of the art, second to none. Treat of our time. Took me slowly, almost surprised. State of the art, second to none. Treat of our time. Took me slowly, almost surprised. State of the art, second to none. Treat of our time. Took me slowly, almost surprised. State of the art, second to none, girl.
You're listening to Morning Special. It's Tuesday. It's the last day of the month. Good morning to 2205님, 2205님이요. 매일 아침 아버지께서 차로 학교 데려다 주시는데요. 라디오 들으면서 아침부터 영어 공부해서 참 좋아요. 라고 하셨습니다. tuning in with your father
On the way to
every
school.
morning. Yeah, how
like it.
delightful. Thank you so much for tuning in, the both of you.
My mom used to drive me to school too.
Oh, really?
When I was in middle school.
Oh, was it quite far away?
I could have taken the local bus, the local school bus.
Yeah.
And sometimes I did, but sometimes if mom was leaving the house at the same time, then I would leave together with her.
Yeah.
My family home when I was young was very hectic in the morning because my dad, he was the high school vice principal, so
Right.
he would leave at like 6 a.m. or something. Then my mom, she had her work, so she would leave. Everybody would leave the house at different times in the morning. Yeah.
와우. 선생님의 집안 풍경이 약간 그려지는 것 같아요. 분주하게 아침에 준비하는 모습. 우리도 비슷하지 않을까 싶은데요. 이렇게 매일 아침 아버지와 그다음에 아드님이신지 따님이신지는 잘 모르겠습니다만 함께 이렇게 출근 또 등교하는 모습 너무 좋습니다. 함께 해주셔서 감사하고요. 6692님이요. Good morning. It stopped raining in my region. I feel the same as Steve 선생님 does. I love eating ramen when it rains. Otherwise, I seldom eat ramen.
Same here.
Really?
I rarely
wow.
eat ramen.
비가 오면은 라면이 진짜 생각나시나 봐요. 선생님도 그렇고 우리 6692님도. Interesting.
Very rarely. How do you like to eat your ramen?
Slightly al dente.
Okay. Cheese or no cheese?
Cheese.
Okay. Egg or no egg?
No egg.
Sue, it's very disappointing.
Do I do everything differently to how you do it?
No, well, you got the cheese in there.
All right.
I like my ramen with some cheese and with an egg in there as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
그래요. Paul, our writer, has reminded us that we differ on many levels when it comes to eating.
탕수육 as well.
탕수육, yeah. I'm a
Yes,
pourer.
you pour the sauce for some reason.
I do. All right. And our listener 김고순님 says, 수진쌤, 스티브쌤, 오늘은 6월의 마지막 날, 금년도의 반절이 지나가네요. 오늘은 사랑하는 둘째 딸 유미의 15살이 되는 생일입니다. 수진쌤, 스티브쌤에게 축하받고 싶어요 하셨습니다.
That's exciting. Yumi, you're turning 15 years old today.
Happy birthday, Yumi.
Oh, how do you celebrate a 15-year-old's birthday? What do you do? What do you do for fun on your 15th birthday?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yumi, you're asking the wrong people if you're asking for advice.
I mean, things probably we did when we were 15, and I'm sure not what they do these days.
Maybe not. Yeah, probably just a nice family dinner. And if you're lucky, Yumi, maybe you can get a nice gift from your parents as well. If you're lucky, of course.
Well, happy birthday once again, Yumi. 그리고 김성겸님은요. 오늘은 결혼 8주년이에요. 축하해주세요. 그런데 바빠서 아내 얼굴도 못 보고 나왔네요. 아내에게 사랑한다고 전해주세요 하셨습니다. I wasn't even able to see my wife's face this morning because I was too busy to go to work. But it is our wedding anniversary.
Well, you are going to want to fix that problem when you go home from work.
Exactly.
Because you may not have a 9th wedding anniversary if you do not.
Yeah. Buy a little bouquet of flowers, maybe a little cake.
Something.
Yeah.
Oh, how about this, 성겹님? How about ordering some flowers and maybe chocolates or candies or something and having them delivered to her
That's a good
wherever
idea.
she is. If she's at home this morning or this afternoon, then maybe you can have the flower shop write a note that says, I'm sorry I had to rush out of the house this morning, but I am thinking of you. Happy 8th anniversary.
That's a great idea. Because I think every woman loves flowers, unless they're allergic to pollen. But,
Very true.
네, 꽃 선물 추천해드리겠습니다. 김성겸님 결혼 8주년 축하드려요. Keep sending in your messages, questions and suggestions to sharp1045 and use our Pandy board as well. Let's check our news focus stories. 자, 그러면 첫 번째 뉴스 포커스 살펴보도록 하겠습니다. 인도 소식이에요. 인도에서 한 아버지와 아들이 코로나19 확산 방지를 위한 봉쇄 지침을 어겨 체포됐다가 경찰의 고문 끝에 사망했습니다. 그러자 인도판 조지 플로이드 사건이라며 공분이 일고 있는데요. Let's listen to the story.
Outrage at the death of a father-son duo in the custody of Indian police mounted on Saturday, with thousands on social media comparing the incident to the death of George Floyd in the United States. Jay Jayaraj and Benix Emmanuel were subjected to a brutal thrashing, which resulted in eventual death, according to a letter written by Jayaraj's wife. The letter seeks action against the police officers involved. The two men were picked up on Friday, June 19th for breaching coronavirus lockdown rules. Two policemen involved in the incident have been suspended.
너무 안타깝습니다. 봉쇄령을 어겼다는 이유로 이 부자가 체포가 됐는데요. 고문을 당하고 병원에 이제 가게 됐습니다. 너무 많은 부상 때문에. 그러다가 사망을 했다는 소식이 전해졌어요. Now the people are very angry and they're saying this is very much like the George Floyd case of India.
The punishment does not equal the crime, as they say. They were picked up and picked up means kind of grabbed by the police for breaching coronavirus lockdown rules. So did they deserve to lose their lives? No, obviously they did not. And that's why the comparison has been made to George Floyd in the United States. So people got online. People are furious about this. Celebrities were online sharing their opinions as well. So I guess we'll see what happens to the police officers. Yeah. As I mentioned, they have been suspended right now, but will they be charged with crimes? We will have to see.
Right. And this is obviously one case, but it's probably one of many because they say in India, the police there do tend to use force whenever they like to, if you will. And so the people have long been unhappy with the whole situation.
Oh, I see. Well, yes. Well, I guess the silver lining, if we can find a silver lining to a story like this, is that with more awareness, it would lead to, or we hope it would lead to, a decrease in the number of cases similar to this in the future. Well, let's have a look at a couple of the expressions here. People are outraged over this, and the pressure on Indian police mounted on Saturday, and the outrage at Indian police mounted last Saturday as well. So to mount means to get higher or to get bigger, and it can be literal or it can be figurative. So let's use your work as an example. So you decide to take the day off on Friday, and on Friday morning, your boss puts this on your desk. If you're not watching Poland Radio, turn it on very quickly, please, because I am stacking one paper on top of another paper.
네, 여러분 보이세요? 자막 때문에 좀 안 보일 수 있는데 선생님이 지금 종이를 계속 쌓아두고 있어요.
And then more, and then more, and then more. And then when you come back to the office on Monday, oh my goodness, your work mounted over the weekend and on Friday as well. Now, that's a literal meaning, right? Think of a mountain. But figuratively, it's used as well, as it's seen here in the article. Outrage can mount. Pressure can mount. Expenses can mount. For example, if you start your project and your budget is $10, but then you realize, oh no, we're going to need more money for this part. So now the budget is $12. Now we need more money for this part. Now we need $16. Well, the budget the amount needed mounted as well.
네, 여기서 mount라는 동사는요, 뭔가 쌓이다라는 뜻이에요. 그래서 outrage mounted라고 했습니다. 공분이 이렇게 일고 있다, 쌓이고 있다라는 뜻인데, 아까 서류가 쌓이고 있다라는 식으로 뭐 물건에 대해서도 눈에 보이는 뭔가가 양이 많아질 때도 쓸 수 있습니다.
And the reason outrage was mounting in India was because Jay Jayaraj and Benix Emmanuel were subjected to a brutal thrashing. So when you are subjected to something, it means that something really bad happened. There was a bad situation and you were involved, but you were the one who received it.
I see.
So we see this expression a lot when we talk about violent behavior. Maybe you could see or hear a sentence example in a movie about a child who was beaten by their parents or something, which is a terrible example. But these are the types of examples where we hear subjected to. He was subjected to violent behavior when he was young, or she was subjected to verbal attacks by her teacher or something like that.
맞아요. Be subjected to something. 그러면 무언가를 당하다라는 뜻이 있습니다. Let's listen to the story one more time.
Outrage at the death of a father-son duo in the custody of Indian police mounted on Saturday, with thousands on social media comparing the incident to the death of George Floyd in the United States. Jay Jayaraj and Benix Emmanuel were subjected to a brutal thrashing, which resulted in eventual death, according to a letter written by Jayaraj's wife. The letter seeks action against the police officers involved. The two men were picked up on Friday, June 19th for breaching coronavirus lockdown rules. Two policemen involved in the incident have been suspended.
자, 다음 뉴스 포커스입니다. 전설적인 록 그룹 롤링스톤즈가 도널드 트럼프 미국 대통령의 선거운동에 자신들의 노래를 사용하지 말라고 경고했는데요. Let's listen to the story.
The Rolling Stones are threatening legal action against U.S. President Donald Trump's campaign for using their music at his campaign rallies. The Trump campaign has a political entities license authorizing the public performance of more than 15 million musical works in performing rights organization BMI's repertoire at campaign events. There is a provision, however, that allows BMI to exclude musical works from the license if a songwriter or publisher objects to its use by a campaign. The Stones' classic 1968 hit, You Can't Always Get What You Want, has served as the Trump campaign's walk-off song during campaign rallies.
네, 이번에는 이제 You can't always get what you want를 사용해서 문제가 되고 있고요. This is not the first time that Trump has been asked by either groups or singers to not use their songs.
He's also not the first politician to be asked by singers or musicians to not use their songs as well. Oftentimes bands, they do not want their music chosen. But it's interesting. I didn't know this. That a campaign has what they call political entities license, which means they can use up to 15 million pieces of music unless the artist says, no, you cannot. But it's kind of the other way around from what you might expect.
Yeah.
I always thought the campaign would ask the artist first.
Yeah, exactly,
but
me too.
It's not the case. They use it first, and then the artist says yes or no after that.
네, 이 political entities license라는 것은요, 미국에서 이렇게 어떤 뭐 대선이라든지 선거를 위한 캠페인을 벌일 때 펼치고 있을 때 음악을 쓸 수 있는 라이센스라고 합니다. 그러니까 누구의 음악이든지 간에 쓸 수 있는데 다만 그 가수가 이제 더 이상 제 노래 쓰지 마세요라고 하면은 그때부터 사용하지 못한다고 해요.
Yes, so this provision allows BMI to exclude musical works from the license if a songwriter says no. So a provision, when we're talking about legal documents, it's a condition or a requirement in that legal document. So there's a provision, there's a stipulation, that's a similar word as well.
Yeah. 여기서의 provision은 이제 뭐 어떤 조항 정도로 보면 되겠습니다. And of course, it also says here that the publisher, if the songwriter or publisher objects, then you can no longer use it.
That's the provision, is that if the songwriter objects to its use, then the campaign cannot use it anymore. To object to something. You see courtroom dramas, right? The lawyer stands up and says, I object. And what that means is I don't agree. I'm saying no to what's happening right now. So when you don't like something, or you're saying no, or you're disagreeing with something, then you say, I object. So Object to means you don't like what's happening at
Right.
that time. For example, in the article, the artists, they object to the use of the music. It means that they say, nope, we don't like it, and you cannot do it.
네, object to 하고 명사 형태가 나오는데요. 그것에 대한 거부 의사를 밝힌다라는 뜻입니다. Let's listen to the story one more time.
The Rolling Stones are threatening legal action against U.S. President Donald Trump's campaign for using their music at his campaign rallies. The Trump campaign has a political entity's license authorizing the public performance of more than 15 million musical works in performing rights organization BMI's repertoire at campaign events. There is a provision, however, that allows BMI to exclude musical works from the license if a songwriter or publisher objects to its use by a campaign. The Stones' classic 1968 hit, You Can't Always Get What You Want, has served as the Trump campaign's walk-off song during campaign rallies. It's an odd choice for a song, too, don't you think?
Yeah.
In fact, that's what Mick Jagger said. He said it's weird. Why does President Trump's campaign want to use that song when they walk off?
그러게요. You can't always get what you want. Is that the one you're referring to?
Yeah, exactly. So when Trump leaves the stage, they play You Can't Always Get
Yeah.
What You Want.
그렇군요. 이 노래를 직역하면은 여러분이 원하는 대로 그렇게 늘 되는 게 아니에요라는 뜻인데 이거를 이제 선거 캠페인 때 쓴다는 게 약간
Like Obama? Is that what that
I
means?
don't know. I don't know.
That was a joke.
Let's listen to a song. Sam Smith and Normani의 Dancing with a Stranger 듣고 마지막 뉴스 포커스 살펴보겠습니다.
I don't wanna be alone tonight. It's pretty clear that I'm not over you. I'm still thinking about the things you do. So I don't wanna be alone tonight, alone tonight, alone tonight. Can you fight the fire? I need somebody who can take control. I know exactly what I need to do. 'Cause I don't wanna be alone tonight, alone tonight, alone tonight. Look what you made me do. I was somebody new. Ooh, baby, baby, I'm dancing with a stranger. Look what you made me do. I was somebody new. Ooh, baby, baby, I'm dancing with a stranger. Dancing with a stranger. I wasn't even going out tonight, but boy, I need to get you off of my mind. I know exactly what I have to do. I don't wanna be alone tonight, alone tonight, alone tonight. Look what you made me do. I was somebody new. Oh, baby, baby, I'm dancing with a stranger. Look what you made me do. I was somebody new. Oh, baby, baby, I'm dancing with a stranger. Dancing with a stranger. Dancing with a stranger. Dancing, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Look what you made me do. I'm with somebody new. Ooh, baby, baby, I'm dancing with a stranger. Look what you made me do. I'm with somebody new. Ooh, baby, baby, I'm dancing with a stranger. I'm dancing, I'm dancing. Dancing with a stranger. I'm dancing with a stranger. Dancing with a stranger.
Let's check our final news focus story. 태국의 관광명소 롯부리 시내가 원숭이 떼의 출몰로 몸살을 앓고 있습니다. 코로나19 확산으로 관광객이 감소하면서 먹이가 줄어들자 이 원숭이 떼가 시내까지 진출한 것인데요. Let's listen to the story.
Thailand has started sterilizing hundreds of monkeys in a city famous for its macaque population as the coronavirus pandemic leaves them hungry, aggressive, and wresting food from terrified residents. Lopburi province and its 2,000 monkeys have long been a draw for tourists from around the world who feed them and pose with them for selfies. But since Thailand closed its borders on April 4th to control coronavirus infections, the monkeys are not adapting well to their new normal. The government aims to sterilize 500 of the macaques over the next 2 months.
Monkeys.
Yeah,
Lots of them. Oh, look at the video footage right now on our 보이는 라디오.
Yeah, I mean, monkeys have free reign in this town.
아니 믿을 수가 없어요. 지금 보이는 라디오로 영상 띄워드리고 있는데 아니 도대체 몇 마리예요? 지금 수십 마리의 원숭이들이 자유롭게 시내를 활보하고 있는 모습입니다. 무서운데요, 선생님?
Oh, I don't think so.
No?
I think it's kind of cool.
Okay.
No, it is scary now, and it's scary for the people, but it's also
아니 음식이 나타나자 the moment they see some food, look at
Yeah.
that. Oh my goodness.
that's the problem.
아, 음식 때문에 이렇게 거리에 나선 거군요.
When-
식량이 부족해서.
Let me clarify. When I say I think it's kind of cool, I mean I don't mean this story is. I mean in general when monkeys
Yeah.
can coexist with people.
Yeah, oh, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Pardon me, but this is really sad because here's what's happened. The monkeys in the area, they depend on tourists to feed them, right? And they get a lot of food. And
see.
these monkeys are different from jungle monkeys because jungle monkeys, they have to hunt for their food.
I see.
But these monkeys are given food.
아, 평소에는 이제 관광객들이 식량을 주기 때문에 거기에 익숙한 원숭이들인데요. 지금은 관광객이 없어서 그래서 너무 배고프다
Yeah.
못해 이제 거리로 나온 겁니다.
Yes, exactly. So they're fighting people. They're fighting human beings for food. They're trying to take it away from them. So because these monkeys, they don't have to search for food in the jungle, it means they have a lot more time to reproduce. So what the city is doing is they are sterilizing these monkeys so that it'll stop the reproduction of the monkeys, at least for a time being.
Right.
So what they're doing is they have these cages and they're putting these attractive fruits in the cages so that the
Right.
monkeys will come in. Then they take them to the hospital, they give them their surgery, and then
Right.
about a day later, they put them back with their tribe.
Get it.
That's what's going on.
Okay, let's look at the expression wrestle food.
Yeah, so that's what the monkeys are being forced to do here is wrestle food from terrified residents, from people. So if you are wrestling something away from someone, it means that this person A is holding on to something, and you are person B, and you are trying to take what person A is holding.
Right.
So let's use Sue's pen, for example. If Sue is holding her pen and I also grab her pen and then I'm trying to take it, but
Yeah.
she won't let me, I am trying to wrestle the pen away from Sue.
그렇군요.
Because you think of wrestling, right?
Right.
Yeah.
씨름하다라는 뜻의 wrestle, 동사로 쓸 수 있거든요. 근데 여기서는 wrestle 뒤에 food가 나왔습니다. 그러니까 음식을 빼앗기 위해서 뭐 씨름하다라는 뜻이 꼭 아니더라도 뭐 싸우다 아니면은 여기서는 뭐라 그럴까요? 그 원숭이들이 다 모여서 있는 그런 모습들을 마치 씨름하는 것 같이 보인다라고 해서 묘사를 한 것 같아요.
Yes. If I put my hand on Sue's pen and she lets go, then I did not wrestle it away. The implication is it has to be a struggle. So the monkeys are grabbing the people's food and they're trying to take it, but the people they're not letting go.
Right.
And that's why we say the monkeys are trying to wrestle it away.
그러니까 싸움을 벌인다라는 이미지도 들어가 있는 거네요. Now, these monkeys, though, here have long been a draw for tourists.
Yeah, tourists go there and they want to see the monkeys when they go there.
Yeah.
And they want to take a selfie with the monkeys while they are there. And they also give them food. So Lopburi province and its 2,000 monkeys have long been a draw. Okay, well, let's talk about draw first. Draw is simply something that attracts people. Now, long been a draw, you can see long been. Okay, you can figure it out, right? Long been. But usually the sentence goes the other way around, meaning Lopburi province has been a draw for people for a long time.
Right.
So this is just a fancier way of saying. I'll give you another example. If I say, I've been a fan of football for a long time, I can make that sentence fancier by saying, I have long been a fan of football. It's exactly the same meaning. It's just a fancier way to say it.
네. I have long been 뭐뭐뭐라고 하면은 나는 굉장히 오랜 시간 동안 일해왔다라는 뜻이에요. 여기서는 주어가 monkeys입니다. 이 2,000마리의 원숭이들이 아주 오랜 시간 동안 뭐였냐면은요. A draw, 어떤 관광 포인트, 매력, 끌어당기는 힘이라는 뜻이에요. 관광객들이 이 원숭이들을 보기 위해서 이 지역에 갔다라는 것을 이렇게 표현을 한 겁니다.
Yeah, and this is a useful expression, hopefully, for our listeners. If we ask you, have you been listening to Morning Special for a long time?
Oh, yeah.
You can say, I've long been a fan of Morning Special.
I have been a fan of Morning Special for a long time.
Or
줄여서 I have long been a fan of Morning Special.
it's almost easier, isn't it?
It is,
Yeah,
yeah.
so double bonus. It's easier and fancier.
네, 그러네요. 조금 더 고급스러운 표현이면서도 더 짧아서 이용하기 참 좋은 표현입니다. Let's listen to the story one more time.
Thailand has started sterilizing hundreds of monkeys in a city famous for its macaque population as the coronavirus pandemic leaves them hungry, aggressive, and wrestling food from terrified residents. Lopburi province and its 2,000 monkeys have long been a draw for tourists from around the world who feed them and pose with them for selfies. But since Thailand closed its borders on April 4th to control coronavirus infections, the monkeys are not adapting well to their new normal. The government aims to sterilize 500 of the macaques over the next 2 months.
Okay, Steve, what's your expression of the day?
Well, in the beginning of the show, we were talking about the rainy weather outside, and I mentioned a really famous bindaetok place that is behind the Sejong Art Center.
Yep.
And I said that when I lived in Gwanghwamun, I visited that location on more than one occasion. So let's look at that. On more than one occasion. Now that's a fancy expression that means many times.
Right.
So if I say, I have been there many times, I can also say, I have been there on more than one occasion. And I guess the nuance is you visited there a lot.
맞아요. 자주 뭔가를 했다라는 의미의 조금 fancy한 표현인데요. On more than one occasion 이라는 표현입니다.
So literally, more than one means 2 or 3 or 4,
Right.
But that's not the implication here. The implication is you've been there many times.
그렇군요. 꼭 한 번 이상을 갔다라는 게 중요한 게 아니라 많이 가봤다라는 뉘앙스인데 표현은 이렇게 하는 거예요. You wouldn't say, I've been there on more than 2 occasions,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I've been there. If you went there 5 times, that's a great point.
Yeah.
If you went there 5 times, you wouldn't say, I've been there on more than 4 occasions. Yeah, it's strictly, I've been there on more than one occasion.
네, 한 번 이상 가봤다라는 직역이지만 많이 해봤다라는 뜻이 되겠습니다. 스티브 선생님은 그 빈대떡하게 많이 가보셨나 봐요.
Is this your first day listening to Morning Special? No, I've listened to this show on more than one occasion. I've long been a fan of Morning
Right.
Special.
오늘 배운 표현들 다 섞어서 문장 만들 수 있겠네요. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you as always for having me. Please do drive safely in the rain today, and I'll be back tomorrow.
네. 스티브 선생님 보내드리면서 Ed Sheeran의 Castle on the Hill 듣고요. 저는 2부에 돌아오겠습니다.
When I was 6 years old, I broke my leg. And I was running from my brother and his friends, and tasted the sweet perfume of the mountain grass I rolled down. I was younger then. Take me back to when I found my heart, broke it here, made friends and lost them through the years. And I've not seen the boring fields in so long. I know I've grown, but I can't wait to go home. I'm on my way, driving at 90 down those country lanes, singing to Tiny Dancer, and I miss the way you make me feel. It's real. We watch the sunset over the castle on the hill. 15 years old and smoking hand-rolled cigarettes, running from the law through the backfields and getting drunk with my friends. Had my first kiss on a Friday night. I don't reckon that I did it right, but I was younger then. Take me back to when we found weekend jobs, and when we got paid, we'd buy cheap spirits and drink them straight. Me and my friends have not thrown up in so long. Oh, how we've grown, but I can't wait to go home.